Hi everybody. Angie.cameron here from Direction, mindfulness facilitator, counsellor and psychotherapist. I don't know if anybody seen my post on my Facebook this morning. I'd taken my two girls, Alex 9.5 and Ella 10.5, to school this morning. They're starting P5 and P6, and it's such an exciting time, I think, for kids and parents, but I think it's also difficult. And I said on my Facebook page and my LinkedIn that I was going to do just a very short mindful practice, a kind of calming, relaxing one for parents. And I know some of you might not want to watch this because actually you'll probably be like dying to get them back to school and like skipping and doing cartwheels and being really glad, because 7.5, 8 weeks is a long time as well. But I'm also aware that sometimes it can be a bit tricky for some people, whether kids are going back to school, starting P1, maybe even starting secondary school. And for everybody, for some people actually, that school is not always easy, and that includes the kids. And some kids are quite stressed about it, some are excited, but also some are quite anxious. And I guess as parents, that's quite a lot for us to carry too, as well as all the organisation of the school uniforms, the preparation, new gym stuff, the whole lot. So I'm just going to talk for about another 4 or 5 minutes, and then that's me. And that means if you could give yourself that time, that would be just really great, because it is only 4 or 5 minutes out of a day that consists of 1,440 minutes. But just before I start, let me tell you about one workshop, two of the workshops that we've got coming up. One is mindful parenting, and that's really to make you much more focused, much calmer, less stressed, less anxious as a parent. How you respond to your children without just reacting with your emotions and your thoughts and all the busyness and the chaos, the frantic lives that we have as parents. And I know all that too well myself. So there's one on the 11th of September, and there's also one on the 15th of November, and they're both start at 9:45 in the morning, and it's only just 2.5 hours. We make it really affordable and accessible that everybody can come along. So you can check out our website, direction.org.uk. And the other workshop we've got, which I'm so excited about too, is our self-nurture workshop. It's such a big word out there just now, but it's really, and a lot of people, I guess, whether it be coaches, facilitators, trainers, are talking about it. But I've been a psychotherapist for 24 years now, and I think it's not just about practical things we do about self-nurture and self-care, but it's really about the internal talk, the speaking, the feeling, and actually not making, I think a lot of people can kind of go on workshops and everything, but a lot of these changes are just temporary. The way that we work and the way that I work is much more permanent change, and implementing the tools right into your life that is about breaking habits and creating new habits. And that might sound a lot of work, but it's not. It's a great day, it's a fun day, it's relaxing, and on top of all that, after that day, there's a free spa and jacuzzi and a swim if you fancy. So again, check out our website, direction.org, under individuals, and look at workshops. And that's Saturday the 29th of September, just in Edinburgh. So I'm just going to start the practice, and whether you're sitting in the car waiting for the kids to come into school, or they've just arrived back and you can spend 3 or 4 minutes for yourself, that would be just great, because it's okay to do that as a parent, and often we don't give ourselves permission. So maybe giving yourself this wee time. So I'm just going to ring the bell for the start of the practice, and maybe just closing your eyes if that's possible. And even although your head just might be a wee bit busy, just really kind of coming into your breath and starting to just notice that rise and fall of the chest and the belly. If the head's extra busy, I would suggest that you put your hand on your heart, your hand on your belly. It just gives that extra contact and that extra grounding. So really start noticing kind of the kind of mood you're in, what's going on for you just now. So that internal weather condition, what's going on right now. And no matter what it is, whether there's a bit of anxiety there or actually you feel quite relaxed, just simply acknowledge that. We're not analysing anything. And just notice how busy the head is. You might be thinking about the kids' dinner, you might be thinking about school tomorrow, what's happened, going on from one thing. And that's absolutely okay, but all we're doing is simply observing that. So we're simply noticing it rather than going into thinking. Keep coming back to the breath and come back and just check in with yourself physically. How's my physical body? I mean, we might have not even said hello or good morning to our legs or our feet or our physical body today. So just check in with that. Any aches, pains, maybe it's feeling a bit soft. And then we simply come back to that movement in the breath, those waves coming in and going out. So coming in and going out. And remembering at this moment, as you're staying with the breath, that all parents in most parts of the world and carers go through these tricky times too. The start of something new, the end of things, the stress, the anxiety of getting them out the door, getting their shoes on, being there on time, the certain pressures, the arguments in the morning. So just knowing and acknowledging that we're actually all in this together. And I mean all the parents and carers throughout most of the world. And then just the final bit of the practice is really just maybe saying some kind of kind words to yourself, or reassuring words, or even saying, well done for getting them out the door on time this morning. Or just coming back to that bit of stress or the anxiety of reassuring yourself that it's okay. And this is okay. And sometimes I use words like, Angie, you're doing a really good job. Really, this is okay. You're a really good mummy. So maybe saying those words to yourself. And just take that wee minute or two with the breath and say it in your own mind. And even if that feels uncomfortable, maybe just coming back to that every now and then and saying it. And just breathing, simply breathing. And then we release the hand from the body. And I'm just going to ring the bell just in a wee minute, but maybe just before we come to the end of the practice is maybe think about coming back to this. I specially recorded this so it's on video rather than live, so you can come back to it. And even doing this, I often say to the people on my workshops and courses and even my clients is doing this 2 or 3 times a day for yourself is only 6-9 minutes. 6-9 minutes out of that 1,440. So even when you're waiting for the school bell to go, and maybe you can do that, or just say these reassuring kind words to yourself. And just taking your time to open your eyes. Thank you very much. Thanks very much for joining me and continually watching our videos and supporting Direction. This is my calling, so I hope in some way that you benefit from it and it just makes your life just a bit easier. And I hope, if we've not met before, I hope one day we get to meet. So thanks very much again. Bye-bye.